What is up, Ham Radio? Kilo Echo 8, Papa Zoo in November. The Ham Radio Adventure Guy. Got a great stream for you tonight on the one stop for everything Adventure Radio. We're doing Hump Day Happy Hour once again, and we're going to be talking Winterfield Day. We got Vern KV5SIX. I'm really excited for that. But first, I want to do a couple shout outs really quick. First off, we will thank our newest Patreons. Brian Daly is our newest one. He joined last week. And I appreciate you, Brian, and every one of the Patreons that we've got so far this year. And we actually had our monthly meetup call on Patreon this week. Had a really good time doing that. And I wanted to tell you about the new feature that I'm going to do for the Patreons. Sometimes after these live streams, I'll sit around and talk with the guests for, there's been times I've stayed up till really late with some of them, but some of them we don't do it. But we get some really cool conversations on the after talk, and I'm going to start a new thing called Hump Day After Dark for the top 2 tiers of Patreon. I'll be putting the link in the Patreon a little bit later, and if you want to come on and hang out a little bit after the live stream and ask some questions about the live stream, you'll be welcome to do that. Also wanted to pop up the top donators for the quarter. James Jenner is still leading it. William Collins in second. Maybe because Evan just donated 5 slices of pizza. So I don't know exactly where that puts him. He might be ahead of somebody now. But I appreciate you guys. You guys are really helping tremendously. You have no idea how much money I spend on gas a week on POTA. But you're really helping on the trip. I actually ordered my ticket to Florida today. Unfortunately, I have an overnight layover, and I'm going to have to get a motel now. And still got to get my ticket back, but we're making progress. So I appreciate you guys and everything you do. All right, we're going to go ahead and get things started. We're going to bring out Vern. How we doing, Vern?
Good evening. Hello, everyone. Hey, good to see you, James.
Good to see you too, man. I've been excited. I've been excited to have you on the stream.
I'm excited to be here.
I don't get a chance to talk to you very much. I see you in the chats on a lot of streams and stuff like that. But a lot of times I'm in and out because I'm doing POTA. But welcome, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I'm just thrilled to be here. Yeah, this whole 2-week period is been kind of a whole bunch of firsts for me. I'm out here camping all by myself in West Texas and playing with the cold and all the issues the trailer had and setting up POTA and getting all ready for the Winterfield Day. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Now, Vern says cold, but I asked him a little bit ago, and he says it's 37 there. That's like a warm front for me.
Yeah. I grew up in Iowa, so there we go. I grew up in Iowa, but I got out of there as quickly as I could. The running joke in my family is when I turned 18, I tied a snow shovel to the front of my truck and headed south until somebody said, "What is that?" And I said, "I've come far enough." if you don't know what it is, I've come far enough.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's about 14 degrees. I just got in from POTA a little bit ago, and it's cold, but when we start talking about Winterfield Day, I'm going to tell you what it's going to be on Saturday night, and then it ain't going to be pretty. But first off, before we get that started, in case there's anybody out there that's watching that doesn't know who you are or anything, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started in ham radio.
Well, okay, I guess 2 different questions there, but the how I got started in ham radio, I was about 7 years old, and my dad had worked a soldier on the island of Guam, and that guy sent me a picture of him holding his M16 or whatever it was at the time, and a QSL card. I was 7 years old, sitting on my daddy's knee, and I'll just never forget it. That was the neatest thing ever. And to think that guy was clear over on the island of Guam, and we made a good DX contact was just amazing to me. And so I've always loved it. And then my wife and I moved down to Guatemala. We were full-time missionaries down there for a while, and ham radio was pretty prevalent. Well, truthfully, a lot of pirate radio was pretty prevalent down there, but it was just kind of the only way to communicate in some of those villages. We didn't do much of it, but a lot of the villagers talked back to some of the other missionaries and whatnot. So I was kind of intrigued in it again. And I got licensed in, I guess, 2011. And so I just renewed and 2011. And then got my tech ticket and my general shortly thereafter, and then my extra. And now I'm just kind of studying CW and just enjoying radio. I've been blessed to be all around the world, and now kind of settling in and got a shack the way I want it, and rebuilding that after some water damage. But by and large, I'm just kind of getting into it. Going to probably start a YouTube channel here. I've got one, but it doesn't really have much ham radio content. But probably going to do a little bit more of the maker content stuff, and ham radio is related to it as well. But anyhow, just kind of playing around with it, loving the hobby. Just I do a lot of POTA. I do a lot of. It seems like I do a ton of POTA. For my 20th wedding anniversary, my wife hired a boat to take me out to the only island that I'm aware of that is a POTA, but not an IOTA. And so we went out. We were the first to activate it. She's also ham. She's a general class ham, and we went down and activated this little island off the south coast of Texas, and that was our 20th wedding anniversary. So we're loving POTA. We're loving the ham radio. And about me personally, computer programmer. Been a programmer for 37 years. Been all around the world. I'm lucky enough to wherever I plug in my computer, I can continue to work. And like I'm out here, I'm not really on vacation. I'm here in my camper and got some decent internet. Got a lot of redundancy. It cost me some money to have some redundant internet out here in the middle of nowhere, but it works pretty well. And we're just real blessed to be able to work wherever I plug in a computer. So that's what I'm doing out here. And then for Winter Field Day, a buddy of mine is coming down from North Texas, W5ITR. Robert Thies is coming down. I hope I pronounced that right, Robert. He's coming down, and we're going to do Winter Field Day together. We've done some POTA together and what have you, and we're gonna activate for POTA as well as Winter Field Day.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And that's kind of what I'll be doing. Except I'm gonna do it with I'm the vice president of the local club here, and we're gonna go.
I know you're in West Virginia. I know you're in West Virginia. Where exactly are you?
I am in Logan County. It's a little middle of nowhere. I live in Chapmanville, but it's the Logan County Amateur Radio Club. It's about 45 minutes south of Logan, or south of Charleston.
I see.
So,
cool.
But when they voted me in as vice president, I had some say, so I kind of got them to go on top of Tick Ridge, which is on top of Cabway Lingo State Forest, and that is a POTA park. So
sure. That's going to be a lot of fun. How are you going to call it? I mean, I think I'm probably just going to call for the exchange with Winter Field Day and then just submit my logs to POTA. I know that the Hammers app that I use to log with now has a Winter Field Day template. So I'll probably just use that and then export the ADI file, and I think that should be good.
This is my plan. I'm going to call it. We're just going to work Winter Field Day, but you can only do Winter Field Day for 12 hours. So our plan is we're going to do 6 hours on Saturday and 6 hours on Sunday. We're camping, but that's what we decided we was going to do. We was going to split it up. So when I'm not doing that, I plan on doing just a regular Parks on the Air activation. That way, because when I'm calling Winter Field Day, I'm not spotting on the POTA page or nothing like that because there's going to be too many people.
You're not supposed to do it, right? Is that correct?
Right. But when I get done with that 6 hours, I can go on the POTA page and spot for POTA. I can't put it in my Winter Field Day log, but I can put it in my POTA log. And then that way, all the hunters that are used to getting me and stuff like that can also hunt me in the park. Because I'll be honest, I have a good following that wait on me every day. I mean, I love my hunters. They are absolutely amazing.
And then a
And
blast.
I have a great relationship with a lot of my hunters, and you know they know my schedule. You know they'll be hunting me like, okay, we'll catch you on the late shift next, and you know they know. So it's just a
Sure.
good thing, you know.
Hey, let me ask you another question. You said something that I wasn't aware of. I mean, it said the station setup can be no more than 12 hours, but is I think you can compete for the entire 24.
Can you?
If you look at the rules, it says when Winterfield Day runs for 24 hours during the last full weekend of January. For 2022, the dates are the 29th and 30th. Station setup may commence no earlier than 1900 UTC and on the Friday before. Station setup may consume no more than 12 hours total. How and when you schedule and spend those 12 hours is up to you. But the event is for 24. You can do the
Okay,
entire
so
24.
all right. So see, uh, we the guy who's basically getting everybody together and stuff for the club. He was the one telling everybody the rules, and he's the one that told us the 12-hour side. That's good to hear.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't think that's correct. I think it's absolutely 24. So, I mean, we're going to be playing so many different ways of trying to make contacts that I don't think I can get it done in 12. Yeah,
Right,
we're
right.
gonna we're gonna have a blast at it, but we're gonna have multiple radios and multiple antennas and
Well, and that's the thing. If nothing else, you know, because we're going to have more radios out there than we're going to be running for Winter Field Day. So you know, and we'll have more people, but that's to move people in and out, and I'll get a regular POTA in while I'm not doing the Winterfield Day. I'm sure.
sure. Yeah. The what's your class going to be? Your entry class going to be out there? I know it depends on your number of operators and your number of radios, but um,
It does
yeah,
we're going to find out tomorrow night. We have our game night on the local repeater, and everybody who's been on the fence is supposed to let us know who all's coming, and that way we can make the decision on that.
I see. Yeah, we're setting up. I'm just sitting here, just taking notes. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 radios. We only have 2 operators. Yeah, so we're gonna try everything, man. We're gonna do a little QRP. We're gonna do a little RIDI. We're gonna do just everything. JS8 call. I mean, you name it. We're gonna try to tear it up some one way or another.
Hey, that's the thing, man. There's so much stuff you can do in ham radio. Like
Yeah,
it's like a never ending learning cycle. And that, but like Winterfield Day it's gonna be different for sure. Because I
yeah.
don't know about how cold it's gonna be there where you're at, but it's supposed to get
I don't
down to
really
like
know.
supposed to be like 7 degrees Saturday night where I'm at.
Yeah,
And
yeah. It's gonna be that's pretty stout. Yeah,
that's pushing it, you know.
yeah. That's
I go out every day in the cold and I'm used to it, but
mm. Yeah.
seven
You
degrees is
gotta want it at that point. I'm looking here at I'm looking at the weather forecast the best I can on Saturday afternoon. We're it starts at 1 o'clock our time. I don't know if you
mhm,
can see that or not. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can. So,
barely.
it'll be in the mid 60s. So
Yeah,
until the overnight, and then the overnight's going to get down to I don't know upper 30s. But yeah, it's I don't want to be doing it at 7 mile, 7 degrees. That'd be a little stout.
yeah.
But we're looking forward to it. We're gonna have a blast. I think. I think you're gonna find that the bands are just crazy, crazy busy.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I can remember. I'm sure it's not going to be as busy as Summerfield Day or nothing like that because you don't get
No,
as many people out. But
Sure.
any contest weekend, man, it's so hard to get a place. And
Yeah.
well, I mean, I'll be honest, where the bands ain't like they were in the summer. When like
For
right
sure.
now, it's hard for me to get 40 after dark. It
Yeah,
really
it
is.
is. Yeah,
So
I was having to do it too.
I've been doing a lot of POTA activations on 80 since it's been winter, and
Wow.
let me tell you, it's a different breed of people you have to deal with
Sure.
over there.
You have to talk about their colonoscopies.
Listen. Like that. They'll if they'll ask me to move because that they've been talking on this frequency about their colonoscopy for 20 years, I'll move if they ask me. But if they just try to run me off, nah, I won't
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
So and I've had people get in there and jam me
Mm.
a few days ago. Actually they took their CW key and was just holding it down to
See, I
where,
don't understand that. I mean,
and
yeah.
I have to keep moving my filters around and this, that, and the other. And I'll make jokes about them. I laugh about them. I'm like, you're not gonna run me off. I was sitting there and I was telling one of the hunters actually posted it on the POTA page because I was fussing about the jammer, and he said the comment you made, and he said what it was, and what it was is I thought because I was getting out over top of the jamming even, but I couldn't hear the hunters, and I'd tell them I'm still here. We're going to get this. I'm going to get everybody in, this, that, and the other. And at one point, I was like, yeah, I'm just waiting for his psychologist to show up. And that way he'll have to go to his appointment. And, they got such
Sure.
a kick at it. Well, this evening, I had a couple guys move in on me, and they just acted like they didn't hear me and just started talking on the band, with their big amplifiers and stuff like that. And we just kept going. And I got all the big power stations that I could hear first. And then I moved. I made it as inconvenient for them as I could because they didn't want to ask. So,
Sure.
But one of my hunters, and I won't call him out on this, he didn't get through. And when I moved to the other frequency, he got through and he said, yeah, I just couldn't quite hear you over the colonoscopy crew. And I said, Lord, I've done influence these guys.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, they get a little wrought up, but it's all right. We're not on the works bands. We're just using the radio. I mean, if somebody wants to be wants somebody to move. I mean, I'll tell you a quick story. I mean, like my wife is KR5SIX. We were driving back from Oklahoma on the other day, and I had the camper. I was pulling the camper. She was in her truck, and she didn't have a radio in there other than I just gave her one of my HTs. And so we were just communicating. I always liked when I drive, I typically just listen to the the call frequency, 146.520, and I just typically just leave it on there and listen to it. So we were just sitting there rag chewing on the drive home just to kind of keep each other awake. Basically, it was like a 9-hour drive. It was ridiculous. And some old fellow, we passed through this little town. He came on there and goes, I don't expect you to understand and not just think you're a piece of expletive and you need to move on. And not it's all about being a gentleman. You bet. We'll change frequencies, But my argument was we were on that frequency and we were monitoring that frequency. We weren't just keying up all the time. We weren't just
Right.
keeping, she wouldn't beat me to the PTT and I wouldn't beat her to the PTT. We were taking normal breaks, normal IDing, and we were listening for other traffic. I mean, we thought we were being a help, but that old fella, boy, I tell you what, he lit us up. And I was like, there's no call for all that. We'll move.
Yeah,
And so we did. We just carried on. But
that's just like, well, when I moved the first time, I started. I asked if the frequency in use. Nobody said anything, and I started calling. Well, this guy come on there, and I heard him say frequency, and I was like, "What did you say about the frequency?" He's like, "Well, I just wanted to let you know that here in a little bit, there's going to be about 20 guys on here, and this is their frequency, and this, that, and the other." And and this and
was it for
he said, wait a minute, let me stop. He said, do you care to move? I said, no, because you asked me, I have no problem. I'll always move when somebody asks me. And he's like,
Even
well, thank
yeah,
you.
even
And he
even if
said,
they don't.
right. And he said, well, he said, they don't come on till 8. So if you can be off there a little bit before 8, I said, I'll tell you what, it's 7:20. I said, I'll stay here till 7:40, and then I'll get off this frequency and go somewhere else if I ain't got everybody. Well, about 7:30, one of the other guys comes on there that don't know he's talked to me. And this is the difference in being polite and asking somebody and trying to, and he starts,
Sure.
I'm calling QRZ, and he starts going, douchebags on the air, douchebags on the air,
Oh, yeah,
over and over and over. And I heard that guy say, Wayne, stop. And then I had it. I said, sir, I'm gonna say this as nicely as I can. I said, I've already talked to your buddy. You guys don't come on here till 8 o'clock, and I told him I would leave at 7:40. I said,
yeah,
but you make one more comment like that, I promise you, I'll stay out here until I gotta go to bed tonight, and I'll be on this frequency all night.
there you go.
He never said another word. At
I just want
7:38,
I
right?
don't
At
understand what they
7:38,
blame you on.
right? At 7:38, I told my guys, I said, all right, we're going to QSY to another frequency and let them have their frequency. And I was like, okay,
Sure.
guys, frequency's yours. And one of them come on there and said, thank you very much. Good luck on your activation.
Yeah, I don't understand people who don't I don't know. It's all about being a gentleman, and I just when that guy was starting to talk and use some 4-letter words, and my wife was on the band, I was thinking to myself, "Oh, where'd you go? There you are."
Oh, sorry, I
cut out
was reading something.
No, StreamYard lost focus for some reason for a second.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know why it was. I don't know. I guess I must have hit the mouse wheel or something. And I just kind of have a philosophy. I mean, I'm not going to let somebody talk to my wife like that and use 4-letter words. And she's a very good, very competent operator, and does really well on the radio and everything. But I'm not going to let her just listen to that. So we just decided to just QSY and just be done with it, And it was just tell you a funny story. I mean, one time I was out driving, and I was behind her. We were using a repeater, and she knew we were on the kind of the edge of the footprint, but we were like within a mile or two of each other, but we were still talking through the repeater. We were kind of getting closer to each other when so my darling decided that we were having trouble making the repeater. She just flips over and pushes for reverse and talks to me like, I know she's got it. She's not just an appliance operator. By golly, she's got it. And so we carried on like that, just on the reverse frequency, just for a second to tell each other where to meet. And so anyhow, my point being is she's a very good operator. She and I both follow all the protocols and all the niceties, and it just kind of chaps me when that guy just comes on there and goes, I don't expect you to understand. I'm like, okay, I'm out. See ya. Have the frequency, talk to yourself, whatever you want to do. But anyhow, people, I don't give them the pleasure. I just move.
They got to realize they're running off people. People, if people are just starting and they hear stuff like that, they're gonna be like, nah, this ain't for me. This ain't for me
Sure.
at all.
Yeah.
That's like
it didn't have to be that way either. That's a pity. But anyhow, we're giving them more credit than they deserve. Let's talk about Winter Field Day. What are you taking personally?
Personally, I will take my 991A. I'm taking
radio.
I'm taking an Eagle One, which is my go-to antenna.
I love that antenna. I love that antenna.
Listen, I get more compliments on my signal going out to people. Like they're all the time. Like I'll get like, you're 40 over. And they're like, what are you running? And I have people email me all the time. Can you tell me your exact setup? And there's no black magic to the Eagle One.
None at all. And it's funny because the buddy stick has a kind of a similar situation where, well, it's got a loaded coil, but my point being is where they have the elevated counterpoise. Mm-hmm. If you put an elevated counterpoise on the Eagle One, oh my, it's amazing. It just like it gets more noisy, because you can hear so much more, and it's a vertical. But you put a elevated counterpoise on it, and I have found great success with it. And it's just a super little antenna. It does require a tuner, but it's I got it mounted onto the back corner back here, I guess, is the ladder on the back of this camper trailer, and I have it on there, and I just extend it out and I leave it connected the entire time. I put the coax out and connect up to it, and put that elevated counterpoise to match it, and I get great signals with it. And then probably my favorite antenna though is it'd be kind of a toss up, the Wolf River coil, or I had the platinum on that because I was running an amplifier for a little while and heard all the stories about how people melted them. But I like the Wolf River coil. But another one is I use the 1010 49-to-1 infed half wave, and that's a very, very comfortable antenna for me as well. I got it cut. I got a couple of them. I got one, cut pretty close to 20, and one cut pretty close to 40, and worked entire bands with no tuner needed.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm also an Eagle or a Wolf River Coils fan. I don't have the platinum, unfortunately, but I'll be taking my Eagle One, and I'll also be taking the Buddy Stick Pro because I just got it, and this will actually be the first time I'm setting it up, so I'm really looking forward to that because it's just been so cold that I go out to the parks. I've had plenty of opportunities since I got it, but I can throw the Eagle One up and just go,
Exactly. Do you put any kind of a ground radial out there, or elevated counterpoise or anything like that?
I do it with a hitch mount. So basically, I'm using my car as a radial, and sure. I have like a third row seating Nissan Armada. So it's really it. I don't know. I've had people message me, and I've got an Eagle One, and it don't sound like yours. How are you grounding it? And I'm like, take the clip off the thing and hook it to the car. Can you send me pictures? Sure, but there's no magic to it. But
yeah, it's a great little radio, and I've got a mount back here on the back. I can use the camper trailer, which is just shy of 40 feet, and I can use it also for counterpoint. And so it works really well. I like that antenna quite a bit, and I like the ham that built it. He's got a website from 1980, but he's a great guy. And the guy who actually made the Eagle One, I just love that antenna. And he and his wife doing a home business. It's just great.
Yeah, I've been there because actually it was cheaper for me to drive there than it was for it to ship. And I'm like, why would I not drive there? I mean, that just sounds like something cool to do. Actually go out and check it out. And you go out to their house. You go out to their house, and they have like 5 or 6 of them up on their roof that they keep up there. I mean, it's like an antenna farm of Eagle Ones up there, and I'm like, this is cool as crap.
Yeah, no, it's a great radio. I don't know where he found his masts from, but boy, I tell you, he's kind of got it nailed down there. I mean, it's and you can tell each one is handmade. I mean, it's everything. So, and is that Noelle in the hello, Noelle? That's Joe Brett's wife.
Oh yeah, I see that now.
Yeah, I guess I should say hello to my own wife. And I know she's at home watching. I'm sure she's just like, this is some nerd speak right here. Hi, baby. Yeah, my wife is about 400 miles from me, I think, right now. So I think that's right. No, wait, 4 hours. 4 hours. What did I say? 400 miles. No, it's like about 250 miles, something like that. So
that's what I will be bringing, and then my friend Tristan, he's got a DX10. He also has an Eagle One and several. He'll be bringing a lot of the infed half waves and stuff like that. And then we have this guy Slade, and he will bring all these weird looking homemade antennas.
Those are the best type.
That are just amazing. Like they look like, I'm like, the first time I ever seen him pull that stuff out, I was like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
And then I get on there and I'm like, man, dude, this antenna works. He's got a homemade 6 meter one, and I
Yeah.
mean, he brought it out to Summerfield Day, and that thing just killed it. I mean,
Yeah.
absolutely destroyed it. I don't never hardly get people on 6 meter, and we were getting people left and right on that thing. So
That's cool. Yeah, I don't think I've ever made but one or two contacts, and um, on 6 meters ever. Everybody always asks me because my call sign is Kilo Victor 5 Sierra India X-ray. Well, my last name is actually Six,
yeah,
and and so I had the opportunity to get the call sign AA5VS, and my wife spoke up and said, "I don't think so," because she's Kilo Romeo 5 Sugar India X-ray. And so so we both have vanity calls to and it just kind of we stayed with it and everything. So and yeah, Hayden, I see you there in the chat, man. My wife says it's all nerd stuff too, but she does really well with it. But yeah, we've got two operators coming here. Well, just myself and W5ITR, my buddy Robert. And between us, I was just sitting here writing down and what we're bringing. We have two FT891s. One will be on, they'll both be on single sideband. We're going to use some bandpass filters, and one will be on 20 meter, one will be on 40 meter. Then we've got a couple for 2 meter and 440, and then have also a DMR as well in that space. Then the G90, he's bringing a G90, and we're going to play some QRP for JS8 call. And then the 7300, I brought my 7300 off the bench at the house, and we're going to use it to do like RTTY or something like that. And anyhow, basically, we're just trying to get all those multipliers, for all the folks who don't know how all that deal works. It's just a kind of try different bands, and once you get a band and you get a contact in those particular bands and then those modes, then you get multipliers for it. So, and all the extra points that they have out there, we're going to be a 2 Oscar station, which means 2 operators outside. And then we've got, I don't like to say, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 radios. And so, and multiple antennas. He's got a buddy stick, one of the original Buddy Poles, I think it's called, not the Buddy Stick Pro. But then we've got the Wolf River coil, a couple of the Tentennas, infed half waves, and a couple dipoles. I got a folded dipole. I've got I'm just trying to think what. I've also got a fan dipole. And we're also going to try the satellite multiplier as well. So he's bringing a Yagi custom made for that. And so we're just going to give it hell. We're just going to give it hell. We're going to be like big kids, man. We probably don't have a snowball's chance in the desert of winning this thing or anything, but we're sure going to try it. I guarantee you we're going to come back telling some good old stories and see what we can do. Robert's in the chat there now too. So
awesome.
But,
yeah, like
and Joe Brett says he had a crush on me, but see, there he is. Joe Brett's always got to go there. It's always got to be sexual. It's all, I'm just
kidding. Joe Brett could win Winterfield Day. All he has to do is call CQ one time,
I know, right?
Every woman in ham radio is going to contact him back.
Exactly. He's got that voice. I mean, he must have some sound equipment over there or something. I've met him in person. That ain't happening. No, I'm just kidding. I love you, Joe Brett. I do, babe. Joe's keeps, God bless him. He keeps wanting me to do a YouTube channel. So now that you asked me on to do this, and I bought this high power webcam, I'd probably get it done. I'll probably get my camera up and running.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, it's a lot of fun and it's a lot of work.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I can do the regular schedules like all you guys do, but I mean, I've got like 400 subscribers on my channel now. But I mean, I talk about everything from making, your own toilet sanitizer, air freshener for RVs to ham radio, and so I'm not exactly sure I have a particular genre yet.
Well, I mean, I'm everything adventure. They think I'm all POTA. They really do, because that's mostly what I stick to. But I mean, they're going to be surprised some of the stuff that I've got cooked up for the summer. I mean, I
Yeah.
I did it when I very first started. I did a real what would have been a really cool video, but I didn't have the right equipment, and it was just way too shaky. I actually made a 2 meter QSO while I was on a roller coaster at Legoland.
Oh my. Oh, holy cow. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
It was a repeater, but
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
I was just trying to get the contact on
Yeah,
film. But the
yeah,
problem was I couldn't hold the camera steady enough. But
that's
yeah,
fun.
it was cool stuff. But yeah, I've got some good stuff cooked up besides voted for this summer for sure.
Well, we need to talk. Maybe we got some collaboration we can do there or something. But
Absolutely.
yeah,
If you're gonna start a channel, when
I'm
you
just
get
gonna
to
kind of expand the one I've got. But yeah, I'm gonna
right,
take it on to the next level. Right now, I just post videos that are just kind of a different. Like I said, I got some ham radio videos. I showed like building a go box. I showed my new shack. I got a pretty nice. I'll be honest with you, not to be boastful, but I got a pretty nice electronics lab, and got some equipment in there that I'm really proud of. And so I did a kind of a tour, and then we got kind of hammered, man. April 8th of last, I'll tell you this real quick story. April 8th of last year, a tornado came, touched down real close to my home, like within 300 yards, and it totaled my wife's truck. Did a lot of damage, like $20,000 worth of damage to our other camper, and then took the roof off of five. Well, damaged the roof, took the roof off of several places, but damaged where all the roofs had to be replaced on five of our buildings. So my shack got flooded, and that was kind of a bad deal. And then we finally got that fixed and got that other camper fixed and whatever. And then I guess it was about November. We had a pretty good storm, and the back door, for whatever reason, didn't seal or wasn't shut correctly, or the wind blew it in, or maybe some sealant around it or whatever, and it flooded my office again. But this time, just right there on the floor. So I had to take all the stuff out of my office shack again and redo it. And then just about 3 weeks ago, after we did replace the floor there, we had to replace. I guess about a month ago now, had to replace the floor again because we had a leak over the top of us. So we replaced.
wow.
Yeah, it's just the vent stack in the brand new roof that was done, and it leaked all over. So I guess we replaced the floor twice, and now I have some sealing. So I made a video about it and on my YouTube channel, and it's just been one thing after another. So we're getting there. Putting it all back together is always kind of the fun part anyway. So, and we lost a lot of antennas. I had a lot of antennas in the air that the ice storm last February in Texas kind of destroyed. So it was kind of been tough on the old Vern shack for sure. But we're getting there and putting it all back together. So I see some people there in the chat there. Oh, Evan, yeah, thanks, buddy. And well, there's Ed Sweeney. How you doing, bud? It's kind of cool to see the chat here on this deal. I'm so new to the whole StreamYard stuff, man.
It's hard to keep up with when you're doing a stream. I
It's
swear,
almost I'm looking at that instead of looking at the camera. So
they were joking the other night on Jason's live stream. If Jason got so many likes or whatever that he was going to fire Frank, and I'm like, hey, Frank can come over here. Like if he wants to come run my back half of the stream, he can come over here, because it would be great for somebody to actually watch the chat, and that'd be great. But okay, so there's going to be two of you, and like you said, 24 hours. Are you guys going to 24-hour straight, or you going to try to get some sleep, or?
It's hard to say. It depends on the bands, really. What we're hearing. I mean, if it's just not productive, I mean, Vern likes to sleep, So, but if it's productive and we're making the points, yeah, I can say that we'll probably go as long as we can for two old guys. I mean, I'm older than he is, but I'm trying to find my YouTube channel URL on here. So do you mind if I put that in the chat? It looks like somebody's asking that.
No, go ahead. I don't know if it'll let you put it. Actually, Evan, will you put Vern's YouTube
No,
URL in the
it
chat?
didn't take it. It didn't
Evan's
take
one of
it.
the moderators. I know he can do it.
Okay, I didn't know why it wasn't going there.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't let you because you're not a moderator on the channel. But
There we go.
Evan or Joseph or somebody. But
Yeah,
so
appreciate
yeah,
it, guys.
like when we did Summerfield Day, we did it with another club, and we had a really cool setup there. Really, really cool setup. We had a big, huge soccer field to ourselves, and it's at a local water park, but it's on the back half of it. We had it all to ourselves. You know, we had a hex beam out there. We had the works, but
Yeah.
there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There was about 8 of us.
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4 of us. We went all night. Like we never stopped, and we had action all night.
I've done it, but summer's a whole lot easier.
About 5 o'clock, it started getting really, really slow, and I was like, "Well, this is going to start sucking." And my buddy comes over, and he all of a sudden said, "We just need DX for somebody to chase." And we had been calling forever, and he just threw out the club call sign, but he did it with a Russian accent.
Oh my!
And I will be daggone if he didn't get a pile up for like 30 minutes right after.
I know. That's a lot of fun.
I'm like, You got to be kidding me, man.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate all the new subs there. I see my sub count going up here. I got like 7 new ones just in the last 10 minutes. So thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're our setup is going to be kind of unique. We want to qualify for the outdoor, which means you can be enclosed, but you can't be any insulation or any of the rest of that stuff. So I brought with me 2 of the what do you call those canopy, the 10 by 10 canopy things that they got, and we're going to put some tarps around it. But before I got to think about that, we didn't really think about it too much. Is that they have a hard canopy here at the campsite, and so we may use that and throw some tarps around it. And then I brought some those little buddy heaters, those little buddy.
Right.
I got a couple of those that have 2 burners in them, and so easy ups. Yeah, thank you, Joseph. And so I got 2 of those and some tarps and some space heaters. Those big buddy heaters. But when we had our power outage we were without power for most of 8 days off and on. But I think one time we were like 3 or 4 days. These little buddy heaters kept our place from being just miserable. So they work pretty well. So we'll definitely figure out something, but at least we'll be protected from any rain that might happen. I don't think there's any rain in the forecast, but so we're looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm just I keep trying to give Robert a hard time and telling him he needs to take Friday off work, and he's like, "No, I can't do it. I'm like, "Come on now." He's probably at home saying, "Damn it, Vern, quit."
I know there won't be any rain in our forecast. We might have some snow in our forecast, but that's another thing. Like,
good night, Joe.
I'm just out of just like right outside of where they're saying all the really big snow. They're saying it's going to be north and east of me. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to really hit West Virginia. But that could change between now and then. I really hope it don't, because I don't want to be up on Tick Ridge and all of a sudden the snow bottom drop out for sure.
For sure, yeah, that'd be no fun. Yeah, Summerfield Day. I guess in 2012 or 2013, whenever it was, did a Summerfield Day in Houston, Missouri, of all places, and it rained like the dickens. I mean, it was horrible, but we had fun. I mean, golly, it was as much about all the people there in the club and They did it on a big lot right on the long side of the main highway there. It goes through town, and we had all kinds of food. And in fact, we were on a big lot that was right in front of the best pizza that I've ever had. It was right there, Pizza Express in Houston, Missouri. Give a little shout out to Richard. But it was fun. We just had all the comforts of home basically right there, and everybody was dry and had a good time. But so it's gonna be a little different. Winterfield Days is a little bit different rules, and it brings into the elements. So the people up north, I think, are gonna have a bear of a time. Some of them, it's gonna get pretty chilly.
Yeah, absolutely. 'Cause I mean, that storm is supposed to absolutely hammer between like New Jersey, New York,
Hmm.
Connecticut, and up that way. I I watched this one guy on YouTube. He's like this. I can't even remember his name, but he's like this weather guy, and like literally the other weekend when we was getting a storm, he live streamed about the storm for like 10 hours. And I'm like,
Oh,
oh my goodness, that's a. But
that's a long one. Yeah,
every
some of
now
those things are pretty intense.
and then I'll check him out, and he was saying, that you know there's a lot of different weather models out there saying where it's going to hit and where it's going. He said he don't know exactly where. He said, but he would not be surprised if somebody was counting their snow in feet, not inches.
Oh my, yeah,
So
no, I'm done with that.
yeah,
My dad just told me the other day. He says his snowblower's got a problem doing this and that. I'm like, I don't even know what that is anymore.
I
Yeah.
have like a week and a half left, and then I'll leave for vacation, y'all. Just snow.
Are you
Stay
are you
away.
going to Are you going down to Florida, Hamcation?
I am going down to Hamcation. I leave out. Our club meeting is on February the 5th, and I leave out. I'm taking a train on February the 6th. I leave that morning, and unfortunately, between February and March, they're doing some kind of thing with the trains, and they don't have any continuous day trains. So I go to
Yeah.
Washington. I go to Washington, and then I have an overnight in Washington, which
Oh my.
I was not expecting. Now I've got to figure out. I've got to get a motel room. Uh, I got a guy. He's a POTA guy, and he's going to pick me up there in the next morning. Well, he said he'd pick me up from the train and take me to whatever room I picked or whatever. And he's going to pick me up the next morning because I don't leave out till 3 o'clock, and we're going to do POTA in Washington. So I'm going to squeeze in Washington D.C. Joseph
There you go.
Collins on
They
this.
got a fiver. They got a fiver in Washington D.C.
Well, I told him. I said I want to do the Pfeiffer. Is that possible? He said absolutely.
There you go.
I said let's do it. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do
Kyle did that. Kyle did that not too long ago. He went over to Washington D.C. and just kind of. I think he did a fiver also. I could be wrong, but I was his first contact, just kind of as luck would have it, and we had a great time. And I don't know if you ever watched Kyle's.
Oh yeah,
Kyle's.
his video on him doing
Kyle's awesome.
Washington D.C. was an awesome video. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it. But I mean I won't get to do a whole lot. I'll get the Pfeiffer in for sure. Maybe one more, but I want to go back to DC. See, I've been trying to plan an assault, not for this year's Black Weekend, but for
Right.
next year. Next year, I want to make a run at Justin. Justin's the guy
Yeah.
that gets 50 some parks in the 48-hour period, and
Yeah.
I've been trying to think
Yeah.
of where I can go because he's got he's got Florida laid out where he does it
Yeah.
good, and
Yeah.
I got to find me a spot where I can make a run at him, and not
All
this
right.
year though.
Speaking of going to Hamcation, are any chance you're going to Huntsville or Dayton this year?
I'll definitely be going to Dayton,
Yeah, I'm going to Dayton as
Hamcation,
well.
or Huntsville. We'll just have to see.
Yeah, Huntsville is, in my opinion, Huntsville is one of the best. I mean, truthfully, I think it's one of the best I've ever been to.
I mean,
But
I want to for sure, but
yeah,
I don't know because I've got so well. I mean, I've got Well, I'm taking a month off.
oh wow,
So and I'm going to be in Florida for a month. I'm really wanting to because I'm doing it to really boost my channel. It's
yeah.
going to. I've got a lot
My
planned.
wife,
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
my wife just texted. I'm sorry, I got a delay there. I'm sorry. My wife just texted me and said I'm not going to Dayton this year. My niece is coming to visit for the month of June, so I'll be going to Huntsville. So
Well, Dayton's in May.
well, it's right there toward the end of it. Though
Okay.
it's like May 22nd or something like that. Yeah, I think that I have to take some time off for that and some time off for my niece coming. So
Right.
yeah. But I can't afford it all. So I'll be going to Huntsville though. Monsanto State Park up there is the place to stay, and it's amazing. It's probably the most.
I was supposed to go last year, and my wheel bearing went out like right before.
Oh, yeah, that's no fun. But it was great. I got to hang out with a lot of the YouTubers and just had a great time. I was right across the street from Mike, K8MRD, and then right next to he was with Jason, Ham Radio 2.0, and then right next to them was Steve Goodgame, K5, what is it, ATA, and we just had a great time. It was just an incredible time there to. That whole park system. Then Joe Brett and Noel, they were over at a cabin over there. I'll probably do a cabin this year. Pulling this RV is at these prices, or for fuel, is just that's just a little bit more than I want to do right now. And it's probably just a little bit easier to just take a truck and drive over there and it's about 12 hours. So, but and it's just makes a little bit more sense. So I'm probably going to do that. It rained every single day last year at Huntsville. They say it rains a lot that time of year. So that's the other thing too. Who wants to be trapped inside of a camper 24/7 in the rain over there? So
right.
I was there for about a week. So, but yeah. So that's about it with everything we have planned this year for sure. I'm definitely looking forward to going to Quartzsite next year though. I've been to Quartzsite before. My wife and I went and had a lot of fun. And never camped there, just went for the day. And I'm looking forward to go over there and camping next year. And so it coincides again next year also with Winter Field Day, the same time. And so it's kind of it's same this year. It's Winter Field Day and Quartzsite both at the same time. So kind of interesting.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, I think so. It'll be a good time, and got to be totally self-contained and those sorts of things. But that's easily done, and it's much better weather than you're going to get somewhere else in the tail end of January.
So you also have the Buddy Stick Pro, right?
I do not.
You don't?
My friend is coming. He has the original Buddy Stick pole, not the Pro, and I guess it came out before the. I don't know much about Buddy Stick, I'll be honest with you, but he has the original Buddy Stick, and he's bringing that. But no, I do not have the Buddy Stick Pro.
Okay, I was just curious because, I know you've got the Eagle One, and I was wanting some sort of comparison because I can't take my Eagle One to Florida because it won't go in luggage. You know what I'm saying? It's too big. So I'm taking the Buddy Stick Pro, the Wolf River Coils, and an Infed Halfwave, but everybody's used to my top-notch signal when I activate. I'm curious how I'm going to be. I figure I'll be fine. I did a lot of activations when I went there in April with the Wolf River Coils and did fine. Yeah, but I'm just curious, how different.
And Robert just said it. Robert just said in the chat. That's my buddy Digital Rancher. That's who's coming down here on Friday. He said the Buddy Pole is the name of the one he has.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a good weekend playing with antennas. I would love to try to work you. I hope we work. It's gonna be tough. I have a hard time getting into West Virginia. It's one of those kind of.
Are you going with your call or?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, yeah. We don't have a club call or anything like that. So
I'll stick you in Ham Alert and try to find out where you're at and stuff, and we'll be using Whiskey 8 Lima Oscar Golf is what we'll be using.
Lima Oscar Golf.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Whiskey 8 Lima off. Yep.
Okay, very cool. I'm not sure. We either use mine or Robert's. We don't have a ham call, for our club. We don't have a club. So, And Hayden's asking me, do I ever center load the Wolf River coil? I've done it many times. Haven't seen a great degree of difference. It's in my experience, it's kind of about the same. I probably had some that were a little closer when I used when I had it center loaded. I think the takeoff was a little different. Um, I don't really know enough about it to say that it was definitively the root cause, but I know I was working stations that I normally have a hard time working that were too close when I center loaded. Typically, I don't center load because it falls over too much, and I don't like to carry sandbags and those sorts of things. But I have them here in the camper, but I don't I don't ever do it. So let me show you something pretty cool though. I don't know if you can see this or not. Can you see back here? All this stuff? That's all my ham radio gear behind the trailer.
Very nice.
Behind all the TV. So I got a little bit of everything there. Whoops, I'm kind of looking pretty rough. I'm wearing shorts and t-shirt here. I guess it's the fact that it's 70 degrees inside my camper. But so it's back to Hayden's question. I'd be interested to know what he has done. I don't know that I really saw a whole lot of difference other than early in the day on 40, I was getting stations that I couldn't get, and they were just much closer. And then when I was switched back, it was a little bit different. So that's really my only experience with it, bud.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot of fun. That's for sure. And how about in the chat? Anybody got any outrageous plans?
Yeah. Plasma says he's going to get a Buddy Stick Pro. Good luck, man. I've tried. I don't know if they're back in stock now or not, but I'm definitely on the list. I want one as well.
I was going to say I've got one recently, and Joseph Collins has got one recently. So that they're
Really?
probably, yeah. Mine is actually sitting right here. It's not even been out of the bag yet. That's new. That's how new it is.
That's cool.
I got it. I guess I've had it for about 2 weeks, but like I said, it's been so cold and snowy here. I know I'm gonna be out in it all weekend, so I know I'm setting it up this weekend and trying it out for sure. I do plan on, because a lot of people were asking the question, if you could only pick one, the Wolf River Coils or the Buddy Stick Pro, what would you get? So when I go to Florida, I'm going to do a comparison video. I'm not even going to pick one. I'm going to do a comparison and let the people see what they do, and they can make their own choice. Because I'm not going to make that choice for them. But we're definitely going to do a comparison video. Going to have a lot of good videos from Florida. Of course, I'll have Hamcation videos, but I'm going to do an activation with K8MRD while we're down there.
Sure. I see him frequently. Yeah, he lives about 90 minutes from me, something like that. Nice. Maybe a little longer. Yeah, I went down to Huntsville, Texas, which is where he lives now, and went down there for about 10 days, and we went and played some POTA there at the state park that he's always at. What is it, K3019, I think, and so. Yeah, I see Mike frequently, and love that man. He's awesome, and it's funny because everything he's got. I thought I had this over here. I'll probably give it away, but sorry, Mike's all about the anything to do with a skull or a skeleton. And I ran into this thing. I don't know what it is, but it's a skull, and so that has Mike written all over it. So,
yeah.
So I bought that today for Mike, and by golly, when I get back to see him, that's coming his way because he's all about the skulls. You ever watch? He's got skulls in his rings and everything like that. But yeah, Mike is probably one of the nicest guys I've ever met. I'm honored to call him a friend. He's a really good guy. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
GeoScott87 says, "Haha, tent camping in 10-degree Fahrenheit weather on top of Tick Ridge." Prying your frozen hand off the mic. That's what he's doing. He's gonna be out there with me.
That's funny.
So,
that's great. Where was that in the chat? I didn't see it. But the chat seems to be delayed on my end there for some reason. But man, it sounds like you guys are gonna have a big turnout out there. Oh yeah, I see it now. Geo's help. Yeah. How many people do you expect to show up for your club?
Uh, I don't really know. I know I know three of us, maybe five is a about the max that I think is going to come out for this temperature.
Yeah. That's pretty chilly. I guarantee you Vern would pass. 'Cause it's not happening. I'm pretty thin blood after being in Texas for 30 years, 37
I
years.
mean, I go out every day, but I'm typically doing activations in my car because it's so cold.
Sure.
I want to get me one of those ice fishing igloos, one of them insulated ones, and get me a buddy heater and stick it in there because I'd rather do that than sit in my car.
Yeah.
But but until then, well, actually I ain't got to worry about it after a week and a half. I'll be I'll be in Florida and I can activate probably in shorts.
Oh, for sure. I'm in shorts all the time, bro. I mean, I think I own like two pairs of jeans. So it's like I'm like Plasma was giving me a hard time in there. I said, "Hey, I'm casual." I said, "I'm always casual, baby."
Well, now that's the thing. Now, when I go to work, I'm in shorts here. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter how cold. Like people at work, like, do we need to chip in and buy you some pants? I'm like, why? I'll just cut them off for shorts. Like
Yeah. What
I'm
I don't know. I don't know what you do for a living, James. What do you do?
I'm a bartender, so
Okay, cool. Oh, very cool.
yeah,
Yeah, very cool.
lots of moving for me.
Yeah, man, I get it for sure. No, I used to be a bouncer years ago, and so yeah, I mean, I was the guy who always got the trash. But by the end of the night in hot August, at some of these clubs, it was pretty rough. But get warm quick in August in Texas. But very cool. Now, tell me a little bit about ham radio adventure guy. I mean, are you planning any adventures coming up, or other than what I mean, I'm talking about like the extreme sport type adventures. I know that that's kind of your thing too, like mountain biking and hiking and that sort of thing, right?
Yeah. Well, I heard a echo there. That was weird.
Sorry,
Anyway,
it might have been me.
I've got I've got some plans. I've been working for a while on getting my kayak ready to do a kayak on the air. I'm going to do it in a park, so it will be a
Yeah,
park on the air
sure.
activation from a boat. I've got that in the works. I'm also trying to get a rig set up on my mountain bike and
There
run
you go.
a ham stick off the back of my mountain bike
There you
and
go. Hell yeah.
and and actually try to do an activation while moving on the mountain bike through mountain trails.
There you
Uh,
go.
so
That'd be something like for CW too. I don't know if you do any CW stuff at all. I don't
I
yet,
have
but
I have
that'd
been
be a good
learning
opportunity
I
for
have
that.
been learning it for about a month now. I'm pretty good at sending it. It's the receiving I'm having the issue with, which I'm deaf in my right ear. I had brain cancer several
Hmm.
years ago, and when I had the surgery, I lost my hearing in my right ear. So I have to really concentrate hard on my left side, and but I'm getting there.
Yeah, it's
My
good.
my
I just
goal is sometime this year to be able to do activations with CW.
Absolutely. That'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, my buddy W5IRT, ITR, sorry, and I we both just joined the Long Island CW club, and so
Ah, awesome! That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at.
we're gonna do it in parallel. But it's funny you talk about the doing a kayak on the air. I don't know how much you know about me, but I was in a really bad accident in 2005, September 9th, 2005. I was fly fishing, fell and broke several vertebrae in my back, and had multiple surgeries and all kinds of other things. But in advance of that, when I was in the service and the years that followed, I have about 4,000 miles in a canoe and kayak. And my wife was going to allow me to go it alone. Basically, she was going to follow along in a trail, in a truck as best as she could. But I was going to put in at Three Forks, Montana, and get out at Cape Girardeau, Missouri. and go all the way, the three rivers all the way down to where it feeds in the Mississippi and whatnot. 2,600 miles. It'd take about 6 weeks.
Wow.
And so I had all these great, great grand plans, and easy to talk about now, but that was my intention. Was that we're going to float that basically, and she would be there in case of an emergency. I think at one point she would be like 80 miles away from me, but see, that we were both ham radio operators. We were, at the time we were just kind of getting started with it, and we didn't, either one of us were licensed at the time, but that was the whole intention. That was one of the things we both intended to do, and the whole floating of that river. But that wasn't to be. My back just doesn't handle that now. I get really good parking now. And I bounce around, and people say to me all the time, "Well, you don't look like you're handicapped." And I'm like, "Well, you ain't seen it at its worst days when it flares up, And then I got only one good lung and a couple other things, and so anyhow, I just I get a lot of grief. Sometimes they see me parking in a handicap spot. I was like, dude, if I could walk from the other end of the parking lot, I'd park down there every damn day.
Awesome.
Yeah. Right, so I don't.
Well, we have been going a little over an hour, and that's what I try to normally keep the streams.
Cool.
So
I can talk the leg up a chair.
we will start winding. Well, don't worry. You can stay in the after chat all you want. I'm gonna actually put the link. I'm just gonna stick it into chat. And if you are one of the top 2 tiers members of Patreon and you want to come into the after chat, of course it's not going to be on the stream or anything, and just hang out and talk with me and Vern if Vern stays. I don't know if he's staying or not, but I'll be there. And you're welcome to do that. But thanks everybody for coming on. I appreciate it. Evan, thank you very much for the 5 slices of pizza earlier. Actually, thank you, Covain. You donated last week, and I did not get to shout you out because I didn't see it. And Brian, I didn't get you last week either because I finally found out who somebody is. It's Brian Daly trying to sneak in and not be noticed. But Brian donated under someone last week, so appreciate you guys. And
you gotta give a shout out to my friend Robert there. He goes, "Careful, fellas, this is starting to sound like 80 meters." Yeah, I was telling him all my medical stories the other day, and I'm like, I always call this as the Vern turns, and he replied back, "No, it's the legend of Vern." Well, James, I surely have appreciated you, man. This has been a lot of fun. Kind of wet my whistle about wanting to have my own channel off the ground, and just really kind of just wanted to thank you. I really had a great time tonight.
Yeah, and if your friend Robert wants to come over into the after chat, he's welcome to click the link as well. That won't be a problem. All right, guys, We're going to shut down the stream. There is the link for the Patreons if you want to come in and do after chat. If not, 73 everybody, and hopefully we'll catch you on there this weekend.
There it is. Okay.
I was going to say it should be popping up now.
Okay.
73 guys.
All right.